While in Sydney, spring season is rolling in with its days of heat and cold, and jacaranda trees are blooming. I have been sewing non-stop a fun project to upgrade my headboard, trying to use up what I have, and I have been sourdough baking pastries and bread loaves for my family, and curry for the vegetable patch, which is giving us great satisfaction. So, welcome to my home. Hi there, here Vera. What a great season spring is. This year is just a little bit less consistent, but overall good weather. The night before I fed my sourdough starter, but I also prepared the leavens for my morning recipes. I am planning on preparing some pastry dough for the week, and it is a dough which you can keep in the fridge and roll anytime you need it. It is really convenient to have it handy. I wanted to show you in this video that the same recipe I used for the bread machine, the sandwich loaf, you can use it for the stretch and fold technique. If you don't have a bread machine, you can use your stand mixer. If you don't have that one as well, you can use your hands. I started with my hands at the beginning. And I wanted to mention that you can totally take the dough and skip the stretch and fold steps, let the dough rise and bake it. It will come good anyways. I, after a while, upgraded to a stand mixer. I have a Breville Bakery Chef Hub stand mixer in this white color, and I have been loving it. I leave the stand mixer mixing for a good 10 minutes. Once your dough has been formed, you want to do the window pane test. You stretch the dough and it should result elastic and see-through without breaking. As I have mentioned in the intro, I desperately want to upgrade my headboard. It does have nothing wrong for me to justify a new purchase. The problem I have with it is that it is rather masculine and hard, and when I read at nighttime, I need 3 pillows behind me to be comfortable. I was thinking at the beginning to get one of those headboard covers that you can sleep on and off, but I honestly couldn't bring myself to buy one yet. So like it usually happens, I googled some ideas and inspiration, and I found headboards made of pillows. So, spoiler alert, I am making 2 giant pillows with a duvet cover that I got from a thrift store. Here I am cutting 4 panels, which are going to be the actual pillowcases in this charcoal color, and 4 frames in this beige color, because I want to create a puffy edge to the pillow. You want to stretch and fold your dough for about 3 times, 30 minutes apart. Just use your phone alarm. It is the best way to not forget. You want to stretch the 4 sides using your wet hands so that the dough won't stick. Once the dough has had its fermenting time, you want to fold it like an envelope and tuck the edges under to create a smooth surface. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The flavor won't change. I use my scraper from IKEA, an expensive but efficient and really useful and versatile tool. I recommend. Once you have shaped dough, you will leave it to rest for another couple of hours. Cover the top with a thin layer of oil and bake it at 220 degrees for 20 minutes and 190 for another 20 minutes. So as you can see, I created this pillow shape with a frame. I am now pinning the frame to the panel, front side together, and I will sew it all around. For the corner, it was the hardest part to figure out. I tried to create a loop on the panel where the corner is, so that the loop would match the corner of the frame, and pinning it to keep it in place. And once on the sewing machine, I did struggle a little bit, but eventually it turned out good. At this point, I am still not sure if this project will work, mostly because I am not a huge skill sewing person, and I actually find sewing intimidating, but we will give it a go. Another day, another recipe. Here I am in fact preparing the pastry dough with the sourdough discard I intentionally made the other day, which I have been keeping in the fridge for later use. This sourdough pastry requires 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon salt, 2 teaspoons sugar, 1 cup of cold butter, which has been chilled in the fridge for about 10 minutes prior using it, and 1 cup of sourdough discard. This recipe comes from the Farmhouse on Boone website, which I refer a lot for ideas and recipes. You first mix the butter, flour, salt and sugar together to create a sandy kind of consistency, and after you add the sourdough starter discard, you let the stand mixture do the job. Divide the dough into 2 pieces and refrigerate. On the Farmhouse on Boone website, she uses the 2 pieces for the same recipe, but I use them separately so I can stretch them for longer. I find that quiet mornings call for calmer days. I know that if I roll out of bed before the kids, give myself time to be me, the day will go smoother. I will be a better person. Even just having coffee in the quiet of the house, prepare a dough, gather some flowers from the garden, write down a couple of thoughts, have a chat with family in Italy, I start my day in the best of the ways. Last time I made these pastries, they literally disappeared in record time, and they are so simple. You just need the pastry dough and any kind of jam. I am using the Bon Maman strawberry jam, which, to be honest, is expensive, but I buy for the jar. Do you repurpose the jars from jarred food you buy as well? I reuse them for the kitchen. This will bake for about 15 to 20 minutes at 180 degrees. Here is a not so rare example of a mom who needs to do a noisy job while the baby is napping. And she is so hardly praying for this to be quick and painless. To attach the pillows to the headboard so that they won't move when you lay on them, I will use Velcro. wanted the frame of the pillow to be puffy, so I used batting to lightly fill the frame gap, making sure to fill all around, and then I pinned it close. Here is evening and I am preparing dinner. I am using up the other pastry dough we made a few days ago. I am making a galette which I filled with ricotta, zucchini, parmesan and seasoned to taste. I baked it at 190 degrees for about 40 minutes and it turned out delicious. The tip I want to give you is just to make sure the zucchini are as dry as possible by squeezing them in a cloth and cooking them until they lose all the water in a pan, because if they have water they will soak the dough and the base won't cook properly. This project has been taking a long time. I think this was week 3 in the making, and of course I work on it small batches at a time when baby is napping, but I also wanted to take my time and enjoy the process and learn something out of it. I don't think you can really rush a sewing project or it won't really turn out good. It takes dedication and focus. Now, I'm gonna say something bizarre, but I felt like sewing is like riding a horse. Let me explain. You need to control another tool which has a mind on its own, and you need to control it with your foot on the pedal. And I don't know if it's just me, maybe it's my machine, but the pedal is so sensible. I found it impossible to go on a steady speed, always or too slow or too fast. So I think focus and dedication are the keys for mastering sewing skills for me. To fill the pillow, I am using batting from throw pillows I had throughout the years, which the cover broke and I kept the inside, and it came out handy this time around. Here I am figuring out if I want to pinch the pillows to give them a little bit more an interesting look and structure. I didn't want to add any buttons because maybe while you're laying down the hair can get stuck, so I went for 2 pinches in the middle section at the beginning. It is time to staple the velcro to the headboard, and I'm happy I went with the velcro because my headboard is already imperfect and has little holes, so if I decide to take the pillows and the velcro off, they won't be as noticeable as, for example, glue or a big hole. And here is the final result. Hard labor of love. I have been having the pillow on for about a week and I felt that it needed more structure. So I changed the disposition of the pinches and I ended up with 5 of them, and it helped with structure and height, and they are so comfortable now. I need only 1 more pillow to be comfortable to read at nighttime, and I am the happiest person on the world. As always, thank you for stopping by and spending time with me baking and sewing. I'll see you next time for more adventures. Bye!